Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rosie, and if you're new here, please do consider subscribing using that big red button down below. So today I want to talk about baby names that I love but won't be using, and boys' names. So a little bit of a backstory. I do feel a little bit weird creating this video because I'm not pregnant, I don't have kids. I've actually had 3 miscarriages and a late term abortion due to medical issues, and we did actually name him Lewis. So I have used one of my baby names before for him, but I felt like I've wanted to do this video for years, and I've had this list for years, and I didn't want to miss out on doing this video just because I don't have kids or just because I'm not pregnant. So I enjoy watching them, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy filming them. So I'm going to do a boys one and a girls one. I've got a long old list, so I'm going to jump straight in with it, and the first one is Luca. Now, I first heard this, actually, my friend in France was always saying that if she had a boy, she would call him Luca, and I actually really like it because it works both in English and French, which is something that I have to consider since my husband is French. So I want names that my husband's family and my family can both say the same. So Luca is the first one, and I just think it's a really cute, but also good for adults. Like, it's not too babyish, which is also something that I think for boys especially, I don't want a super babyish name. So Luca is the first one. The second one is Leo, and this was actually a contender for our baby boy that we had. It was either Lewis or Leo, and we went for Lewis in the end. I don't really remember why, to be honest. So I don't know if I would ever use Leo in the future, just because I think it would remind me too much of Lewis, and because those two were the top 2 for that period of our time, of our life. But I do love the name Leo. I wouldn't have like a longer name, Leonardo or anything like that. I think just Leo on its own is really nice. I know it's quite a popular name, but I do think it's a good one. There's another one that's similar to that, is Leon, so with an N on the end, so Leon. Again, so I do love this name, but in French, Leon, if you say Leon, it means lion. And I don't think I could have Jeremy and his family calling him lion. Like, it sounds the same, Leon. So I wouldn't use Leon, so that's why I like Leo. The next one is Paolo. I like Paolo and Pablo, so they're both quite similar. Paolo Nutini, Pablo Picasso. I think they're Italian, right? Maybe Italian or Spanish names. I don't know. I just think they're a little bit unusual, but everybody knows them, if that makes sense. So it's not like a super random name that no one's ever heard of, but I do like the sound of them. Paolo, Pablo. I don't love the spelling of Paolo because I'm dyslexic, so the P and the A and the O together is weird for me in terms of writing it down. I think I'd have to learn how to write that name, if that makes any sense at all. But I do like the sound of Paolo and Pablo. The next one is Charlie, which I think is super cute. I think it's a good dog name as well. Sorry if you're called Charlie and you're not a dog. I do like the name Charlie. I think it's kind of good for boys and girls as well. It's a unisex name. It's not super English. Obviously there's Charles, which is like Prince Charles and Harry and things like that are very English names, but I think Charlie is a little bit more cheeky chappy, a little bit more fun and friendly, and maybe a bit less serious than Charles, so I do like that one. The next one is Lewis, so obviously that was the name that we used for our baby boy. The next one is Emilio, which you could shorten to Leo, or Emiliano, so I think those two are beautiful. There was one of our next door neighbours was called Emile, which I really like, but apparently it's a really old French name and probably not popular enough, but Emile I like. But otherwise Emilio or Emiliano, so I think they're really beautiful, especially if you had like Emilio Andre. I think that sounds really lovely. The next one is Kobe or Kova. I know Kobe Bryant. I think this was before he died. I'd written this list. I like that how it's short. It's short and sweet. It's just a nice, easy one to say, Kobe. And also Kova. So I put those two. I sometimes put similar names next to each other because they're very similar. So I quite like Kova. I know Cove for a girl is becoming popular, but I quite like Kova for a boy with a K. I think it's quite cool, Kova. It's a name I've not really heard before. Liam is like a classic English, like Liam Gallagher, Oasis. But I do like the name Liam. I remember one of my first crushes at primary school was a Liam, and I just think it's a very easy, straightforward name that's not super, it's not like super boring, sorry, like Stephen or Dave or John. So it's a little bit different, Liam, but it's not super wild. I don't know why I like L names. So Leo, Liam, Leon, Lewis. I like L names. They're my favourites, I think. The next one is Caleb, spelt 2 different ways. So either with a C or with a K. I probably quite like the K, Caleb. Again, I don't really know where I got this name from, if it was from a TV show or I don't know where, but I quite like Caleb. Caleb Andre, Caleb. I quite like short names. That's what I'm finding. Nothing too long, nothing too I don't know, complicated or whatever, hard. I quite like short names, so Caleb. The next one is Corey. So we have a friend in Miami actually called Corey. I think it's a nice, I don't know, it's not an English name at all. I'd never really heard it before, apart from when I went to Miami and I met him. And then I think I knew somebody else called Corey. But it's a nice, I don't know why I like Corey. It's just nice to say it, isn't it, Corey? Hi, I'm Corey. So I like that one. The next one is Caden, so K-A-D-E-N, Caden. I guess you could spell it K-A-Y, something like that, Caden. Again, it's a little bit unusual, but it's not something where you're like, what did you say? So I do quite like simple names. The next one is Kyrie, and I heard this name because I photographed a girl in Miami who was a mom, and she had a little 2-year-old boy called Kyrie, and he was the cutest thing. And I'd never heard the name Kyrie before. I think there might be a basketball player called Kyrie. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I really like that name as well, Kyrie, because it's not, again, it's one of those where like it's not super common, but it's not super different. Like it is different enough, I'd never heard it before, but if you hear it, you can remember it and you can say it. It's not really hard. So I really like Kyrie. Jake, I just think Jake is a good solid name. I don't know why. A good English name, a good Jake. It's just a solid, confident name, isn't it? It's not, like, again, it's not too hard, but it's also not too Dave. I don't like Dave, I don't know why. The next two that are similar are Fabio and Fabian. So this is quite a French name, Fabio, Fabian. And was it Spanish? I'm not sure, but Jeremy's got a couple of friends called Fabian, and we actually had a friend called Fabio in Miami. So I do like Fabio, Fabian. I don't know which one I prefer, but I do like the Fab name. I think you could probably call him Fab as a nickname, but I do like Fabian, Fabio Andre, Fabian Andre. Yeah, so I do quite like those two. Next ones are Keon and Keanu. So Keon, I think, is an Irish name, Keon. Sometimes it's spelled with a C. I think I prefer it with a K. So apparently I quite like K names, I'm realising, because there's been Caleb, well, there's been Kobe, Kova, Caleb, Caden, Kyrie, Keon. So there's lots of different K words as well, K names that I like. So K and L apparently my favourites, but Keon, so with the K, or Keanu, so Keon with an O at the end. I do quite like these. Again, not too hard, a little bit different, but not super different that you don't know what I'm saying. So Keon Andre. Yeah, I do quite like short names, especially for boys. I think girls' names I could go a little bit longer. The next one is Oakley. Now, I know this is a sunglasses brand, and I also think it's a town close to my friend in the south of England, Oakley. But I do quite like it. Maybe that could be a good dog name instead. Oakley. Oakley Andre. I think that sounds quite cute, Oakley Andre. I don't know why. Is that weird that I like that as a name? Let me know in the comment section if you like Oakley, if that's a name that you would use or not at all. Next up is Finley. I think Finley's getting quite popular, Finley. It's just an easy one again, isn't it, Finley? I think it's quite a cute name as well. It's something that I think would be really cute for like a 4-year-old boy who's like running around causing trouble, but then also for like a 22-year-old, maybe less so for like a 50-year-old. Could I see a 50-year-old being called Finley? Probably. Finley Andre. Yeah. Next up is Oakland. So this is a little bit similar to Oakley actually, so I should have put that next to it. Oakland, so Oaklan, so a bit like Oakland, but without the D, so Oakland. I think I watched a baby names video and heard somebody say that, and I was like, I kind of love it. Why am I obsessed with Oakland? Because I quite like that it's a little bit nature inspired with the oak, as in like the oak trees, but it's not just oak. Oakland. I think that's quite cool. Oakland Andre. So that's one of my other ones. The next one is Koa, K-O-A, Koa. I think that's a Hawaiian name. So I know sometimes people get funny about naming kids after, you know, from different areas of the world and kind of taking their words, but I do like the name Koa, Koa Andre. I think because it's short and sweet and it's quite a strong name. I don't know why Koa. Koa, hi, I'm Koa. I think it's quite a strong name and it's short and simple. And then the other one is Gio, so I quite like Gio. G-I-O, Gio Andre. Again, short and sweet, you kind of know it once once someone said, hi, I'm Gio, you'd remember Gio, so I do like that one. There's a couple that I like that aren't on here. I think it's because Jeremy vetoed them when we were thinking about baby names, and I remember one of them was Alfie that I really like. Another one was Archie and Oscar. So Alfie, I think, is a really cute name. Obviously, there's Alfie Days, which is Zoe Suggs' partner. So there is an adult Alfie that kind of is on YouTube. Alfie, I think, is super cute for kiddies. Archie, I think, is lovely as well. Obviously now Prince Harry has got a kid called Archie, if I'm not mistaken. So I do quite like Archie. Again, I think it's kind of cheeky, chappy name. A little 4-year-old running around, jumping into things and causing trouble. I could see that being a little Archie. And Oscar is the last one I think I would say. So my nephew is called Oscar, so it's not a name that I would use, but I do like how short and sweet it is, Oscar. But I think those 3 names my husband vetoed because he didn't like them, so I deleted them from my list. But yeah, that was a very short but sweet video of the names that I love. Now, obviously my favourite name was Lewis because that's what we went for with our baby boy. If I had to choose another name from here, it would probably be Leo or Paolo or Pablo or Emilio. I think those 3 are my favourites. Yeah. So Emilio, Paolo or Pablo and Leo. So that was this video, very short and sweet. I'm now going to go ahead and film the girls version for this, for girl names. I think there's way more for girls names, so it's going to be a bit of a longer video, but that'll be the next one coming up, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I'm not pregnant or I don't have kids, so it might be a little bit irrelevant, but I do love watching these videos, so I hope you enjoyed watching it too. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!